The King's Majesty, brought here in the Steel City. War with enemies, ride the wind with no pity. Once more, the sea spread itself before us. Towering reflects pierce the heavens above us. The light on the burning horizon. The monsters of F-Zero warping Torion.
Okay, motherfuckers. Who's ready for a decent who's ready for a decent quality license game?
Listen, all I know is I asked for this game because I really wanted to see this game in action.
Were you wanting to see this game in action to see if it was bad or good? Like what like, okay,
I don't know why, I was just curious about this game and I wanted to see you play it. But you had to do Kingdom Hearts first.
well, I wanted to get the big game out of the way first. And I'm glad that I did Kingdom Hearts first, because it would have sucked for me to go from long game to long game. I need a break in between, you know?
Yeah.
So before we get started, let's just get out of the way, at least for you guys. What's your experience with this game, if any?
None.
None.
Oh, you guys are gonna be in for maybe a treat.
Experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, like looking at it and playing it, it's two different things, obviously. But yeah, this is gonna be no, JoJo, not Twinkies. It's Twonkies. They even say it like that in the game. It's Twonkies. But anyway, are you guys ready to go?
Let's go.
Alright. Hello everyone, welcome to session 1 of Jimmy Neutron. Well, hold on, I gotta read out the full title. The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Attack of the Twonkies. This game was released, I believe, early 2000s. It's based off of the TV special for Jimmy Neutron. And I've been playing this game since it came out, and over the years, I've kind of gone back and forth between this game. I can't decide how good it is, because I like it, but I can't decide like the actual quality, if that makes any sense. So we're just gonna go ahead. We're just gonna get into it. I think probably the longest part of the game is gonna be the tutorial, if I'm being perfectly honest.
If it's a licensed game, then probably, yeah.
Yeah, well, because they gotta teach you every single little thing.
Listen, you never played a video game before? Right?
Yeah. So, the last time I fully completed this game, it was back early last year, in 2018. I did a partial test playthrough yesterday, but yeah, let's just get into this, because this is gonna be a goddamn experience, that's for sure.
Let's just jump into it.
Yeah, let's just jump into it. Also, if everybody in the chat could let me know how the stream is running, how Jason, Patrick, and I sound, how the game sounds, how the game looks, because yeah, this is early third-party GameCube game.
Like, how early are we talking? 2002?
Jason, can you fact check for me when this game was released? Because it came out like around the time the TV special aired, I think.
Well, I'm already noticing, first off, Sydney is using her movie design.
Yeah, that's probably the most glaring thing, is that Cindy has her movie design, but all the other characters are like their modern designs, I guess.
This game came out on September 13th, 2004.
2004. Okay.
So that's actually pretty late then.
Yeah. So that's probably like maybe middle of the GameCube's lifespan.
Well, the second to last year of GameCube, because it lasted through.
I thought it was 2006.
Pretty much its last.
Now tell me, I have the stream on mute just so I can actually so I can hear you guys. So are the voices still the same as like do all of the actors from the TV show return to do the voices, or?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, almost every single actor from the show reprises a role as the characters, and it's actually very, very good. Like, it's on the same level as the show.
Okay, you say almost. So who's the almost? So who is in this game?
I think there are like a few like side characters, like pretty much the characters that are like okay, think of as like the characters that you see in like maybe one episode every like 10 episodes.
Oh, okay.
But like the main trio of Jimmy, Carl, Sheen, they have their voice actors. The principal does, the teacher does, Sydney and Libby do. And for as brief as his appearance is, we do get to hear the original voice actor for Jimmy's dad. So I guess like
I'm sorry, but if there's one thing that's really bugging me about these models, it's their eyes and their teeth.
the eyes and the teeth. Yeah. Other than that, I think the models are like decently constructed.
They're decent, but yeah, it's the teeth that really they're so big.
Yeah. If there's one thing that I kind of do like about this game is that in some of the areas that you go through, they really do like it's pretty accurate to the show. Like they take a little bit of liberty with it, but for the most part, the areas that you roam around in this game are very accurate to the show. Like Jimmy's lab, for example.
Yeah.
Like this main part is based off the show and the movie.
Yeah. Well, it's the most iconic area, in the show. And
Yeah.
Stuff like that, so.
And then this is tutorial lady, because I don't actually know the official name for this character, quote unquote.
I think at the TV show there never really was a voice for his computer or anything like that.
Yeah.
So.
But like you get to roam around the area. Like you can, like here we got a couple references to the movie, like the girl eating plant. Guys, look, it's Piranha Plant.
Audrey too.
Oh wait, are you talking about Vox 2000?
Is that the name of it?
Maybe.
Yeah, because that's voiced by Megan Cat. I cannot even come close to pronouncing that last name.
Yeah.
So I would just put it in the chat.
But like, if there's one thing, if you're ever wanting to play this game, admire these areas while you can, because a lot of the areas are one and done. This is a very linear game, at least early on. Before we get into the whole Twonky thing, you're pretty much like on a straight path. But I like this area because this is where they take inspiration from the movie. Because I don't think we ever see this part of the lab in the show.
No, it's really only his main computer room you see a lot.
No, like we see it sometimes. Like because in one episode particularly that I remember, I'll let you talk about the top half of the lab. If you talk about the top half, then yeah, we don't really see, you never see that at the show. That's only in the movie.
The Jimmy Neutron game I probably played the most was it was this one with like an evil Jimmy on the PC. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I had a little trouble trying to find this game when I was starting the stream because they do not list it under Jimmy Neutron. It's the whole like the adventures of
Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius versus Jimmy Negatron was the
Jimmy Negatron. Sounds like
like
a
this
fucking
Jimmy with
Star
like a
Wars
white-
cross. Sounds like a fucking Transformers crossover.
Jimmy with like this white lab coat and somehow a beard when he's like 10 years old. Like this evil scientist beard. It's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah.
Well, like there wasn't actually evil Jimmy Neutron on the show, and I remember specifically because he went out of his way to make an opposite world where everybody on the world was evil, and there was one particular scene where this woman was walking out with her baby in front of a car, almost got hit. Jimmy saved her, and the woman turns around and goes, it smacks him, and it's like, "Why'd you save us?" Just like, it's like, wow, that's kind of dark.
Yeah.
She did not care, and she didn't hurt. And
Yeah,
her
I
baby
back
died.
on the in the both chat. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What is the description for the government chairman? Patrick!
Hang on.
Alright, so
What?
yeah, why is it in German? Patrick, do you speak German?
I just Google searched it, alright?
Alright, so I guess really quick we can go into, like, what exactly Jimmy can do on his own. Cause, like, he can do, like, your standard run-the-mill platformer stuff. Like, you know, he can walk, he can run, he can tiptoe in his Jordans. If you spin the control stick around, he can do kind of like a Super Mario Sunshine spin jump. I don't really use it that much because it does take a little bit to activate. But other than that, he has like a jump and a double jump. Now we're getting into probably the main, well, one of the main focuses for this game, and it's the fact, you know, he's a boy genius, so he's got to invent stuff all the time. You find pickups scattered across the map, and you can use those to make different types of inventions. Actually, the tutorial is explaining right now. Like, you can make gizmos, inventions, and super inventions. The ones that you're going to make the least amount of the time is the super inventions, because those show up in the areas right before bosses. And pretty much you're going to be using mostly inventions. You'll be using gizmos sometimes, but most of the time the gizmos are like extremely optional, and they're just fun to mess around with.
So, what kind of game is this? Like, obviously it's a platformer, but is it like a collectathon, or is it like...
It's kind of a collectathon. Because once we get to the point where we can start collecting the Twonkies, then it kind of becomes a collectathon. Think of it kind of like a easier version of collecting the booze in Luigi's Mansion. That's kind of like the best way that I can describe it.
Okay.
So, like, for example, so the tutorial just kind of activated the gizmo, and we can just kind of make a rainbow line on the ground.
So is it a level-to-level kind of thing, or is it?
It's
like...
yeah, it's a level-to-level type of thing. You're never gonna go back to previous levels. So if for whatever, it's super easy to go for 100% in this game.
Okay.
Because like, okay, so the two items I picked up earlier were gizmo pieces. Those are the green ones. These are the super invention pieces right here. These are the yellow ones. And I'm just going to give you guys a warning right now. I should have given it earlier. Whenever Jimmy picks up a invention piece, whether it be a gizmo, an invention, or super invention piece, the screen will flash that color. So so if anybody in the chat has epilepsy or they can't stand bright lights, just block your eyes when we pick up pieces. And there are 3 super invention pieces in this room. So
what's everybody's experience with Jimmy Neutron of the series?
Oh my god.
I saw the original movie when it was in theaters. I actually followed the show quite a bit, growing up, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, if I wasn't watching SpongeBob, I was watching Jimmy Neutron.
It was mainly SpongeBob, Danny Phantom, and Jimmy Neutron were probably like the top 3 that I was watching on Nick at the time.
Oh, not Fairly Odd Parents? You Fairly
Well,
Odd Parents
I
kid?
was, but it would, like, out of them, I would probably end up, how do I want to say? Very Odd Parents was kind of always on, you know, kind of thing, but I feel like I tuned in more for Jimmy Neutron, kind of thing.
Oh, okay, I see.
I think one of my favorite episodes of Jimmy Neutron, and I guess Fairly Odd Parents by extension, was the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour specials that they did. Pretty much just a big old.
The third one's just kind of weird.
Well, which one was the third one? Because I've only seen the first and the second one.
Where they made like this, like
they made a villain.
Yeah, they made a villain, and then it was like brought him to a world that was just nothing but white kind of thing. It was a pretty. When I was going back and watching the 3 of them, it's just like, this is very, very just visually uninteresting. This entire Power Hour.
Well, like, you can totally tell that all 3 of the Jimmy Timmy Powers were written by the Fairly Odd Parents writers.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Out of all 3 of them, my personal favorite is the second one.
Same.
Well, Chris, it wasn't the fact that Jimmy quit before it could get bad like Fairy Oddparents. The studio that made the Jimmy Neutron show, their the Ant movie or like Ant Bully or whatever it was.
Yeah, Ant Bully.
Yeah, I guess that movie ended up doing so terribly that it put the studio out of business. So that's why Jimmy Neutron just kind of stopped.
Yeah, because Jimmy Neutron was actually one of the more expensive shows to make. For the
Well, it was a pretty early
time.
CGI shows, though.
Yeah. And so the studio needed some money, so they decided to make a movie because the income that they would receive from the movie will put it back in the green. The problem is the movie didn't do well, so they didn't get their money back, so they had to shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really quick, I want to explain. Every so often you'll get a little section where you have to interact with Goddard. So like right here, I used him to sit so that he could open the door to get a power up. But if you do stuff in the hypercube, like you can get him to come to you, you can get him to sit, and you can get him to fucking explode. No collateral damage, but you know he just explodes.
Yeah. Yeah, got
Nier
it. Play dead.
Automata is a ripoff of Jimmy Neutron Attack.
Got it. Play dead.
Yeah, Alexandra, you are right. CGI shows were pretty expensive at the time.
Yeah,
I'd say that they still are.
The technology was still pretty young at that point. Because
Yeah.
there was only the only other ones I can really think of were stuff like Beast Wars and reboots, kind of at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy Neutron, between these three shows, Jimmy Neutron was the best looking.
Yeah, in terms of looks, it's the one that's aged the best out of all of them.
Yeah, but in terms of writing, ooh, Jimmy is all over the place because like there are genuinely amazing episodes for Jimmy, and then they're just like
Weird.
The episodes range anywhere from like extremely good to like extremely fucking weird.
Like the episode where Carl gets pregnant.
We don't talk about that episode.
I kind of forgot about that episode existed until you two reminded me.
Was that the episode where like Carl's ass got all like
Yeah.
Yeah. It's time.
Yeah. So I'm also looking at refreshing my memory a bit and just Google searching some Jimmy Neutron stuff, and wow, I'm giving some meat material on this stuff.
Like I think one of my favorite jokes for Jimmy Neutron. One of my favorite jokes for the show was actually when they decided to break the fourth wall. I forget why, but they needed to go to the moon. So Jimmy, Carl, and she just hopped on Jimmy's rocket and fly away to the moon. And she asked Jimmy, I'm coming to astronauts astronauts like a year or two to get to the moon and back. It only takes us 30 minutes. And so when Jimmy went to explain, they just cut the call like singing a tune, and they come at the scene and just go fascinating. Anything else? No, thanks. I have a headache.
Probably some of the episodes I remember the most are the Jet Fusion episode special.
What?
That was basically their James Bond parody, pretty much.
Oh,
thing.
that one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one I remember. The one where they time travel to tell Jimmy's dad to take that one job, and then he becomes like a millionaire in the future.
Oh, I love that episode.
Oh yeah.
And then the ice cream parlor one was the other one where Jimmy just basically makes a machine that knows what everybody wants exactly, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they trick it by making Goddard want food that's as hot as the sun.
Oh yeah! Oh, I love that. That episode was so good. Probably, oh god, one of my favorite episodes was, oh god, the Ice Age episode, where, like, he makes this machine that, like, makes everything colder just because of how damn hot it was, but I guess the machine malfunctioned, and they put Retroville through an entire fucking Ice Age. And there was one point, yeah, ooh, caribou! It was so fucking good!
the best part was he actually got actually found some caribou.
Yeah. like that is probably one of my favorite like chants ever in a cartoon. Just hug glug glug yeah, hug glug glug yeah, ooh caribou.
Caribou. Like there was an episode Jimmy Neutron like when we got to Jimmy spoke from going out of town. So Jimmy was staying over Carla's house until they got back. And that was the episode where you find out how terrible of a life Carl lives. Because you find out that him and his family are allergic to almost everything. Like they have no choice but to be vegans. Like because there were so many things that they couldn't eat, so much medication that they had to take to play with Jimmy.
It's like, how are you alive?
Yeah, well, that also comes up in this game because, well, in the game and the actual Attack of the Twonkies episode, because one of the big plot points that they go over is that Carl wants a pet, and his parents said, well, you can have a pet if you can find one that you're not allergic to, and, well, he went to the pet store, and none of them, well, all of them triggered his allergies. The only one that didn't do that was the Twonkie, and that's how the episode just kind of kicked off.
I'm not sneezing. But there was also the episode where Jimmy and Carl's dad got into a fight, and so they was like, "That's it." Like it's sort of like, son, you cannot be friends with that kid anymore. All because they didn't like each other. So the only way that they can resolve it is for like Jimmy to come up with invent a scenario for them to help each other. And it was I don't know, they both hate weed, but we just grew their weeds out of control, and then entered the monsters. So we got like a short Star Wars parody of Jimmy's dad putting on like a non-lightsaber, cutting down the weeds. Or Carl's dad just like was like double gunning it with weed spray. And they were just standing back to back killing the weed. What am I watching?
Yeah, let's also remind ourselves, thanks Alexander for bringing it up, let's have a friendly reminder that Carl has the hots for Jimmy's mom.
Oh yeah! I forgot about that!
You see, I wish that's a trope that died a long time ago, and I still see it to this day. Kind of think, like, can we please not do that trope in, like, any animation media ever, please?
Like, I get it, some moms are hot, but it just ends up being creepy.
It's like I was rolling my eyes when we got to that in, like, How to Train Your Dragon 3, and, like, we're still doing this kind of thing even now.
Yeah.
The other episodes I remember their big Survivor parody, episode that they did.
Carl, what's the gas on? It's on E for in danger of gas.
That's like engrossed with gas. Like, Carl, I appreciate the effort.
So this is one of the few cases where you actually need a gizmo to proceed. And then now what we're doing is we're shutting down the system, the space station's defense system, so that we can get gas.
Wait, NASA space? Wait, NASA space station defense system?
I don't know. I don't think it's NASA's.
Cause like,
I'm just gonna start.
So what is the actual plot of this game?
It's a very abridged version of the movie. Mostly because they kind of take it and they do their own thing with it, which I can appreciate. But pretty much Jimmy goes to Twonkus 3, the planet, well, the comet that the Twonkies come from. And, oh god, I can't remember the button combo for this. Just mash buttons until it works, I don't know. But pretty much he goes to Twonkus 3 to get some samples. He brings back a Twonkie with them. And since they do metamorphosis through music, you know, they start evolving and they start there we go. They start multiplying and pretty much they take over the whole town. So now Jimmy has to run around and collect them all, so that way he can have free time. I don't know. Actually, the samples that Jimmy ends up getting from Twonkus 3 are going to be used for the last 3 super inventions. So
okay. It's just one of those things where I was looking, but I wasn't really paying attention. So from my point of view, you went from being in your backyard to being on a space station. I missed something.
Yeah, we're just stopping at the space station for a little bit so we can get some more fuel to kind of like.
Stopping. Don't worry, we're just stopping at the space station.
Wait, to get more fuel for what?
The rocket. You know, the rocket that he's on. The rocket he used to get here.
To get more fuel?
Yeah.
So wait,
Well, the in-game explanation is the in-game explanation is that he's stopping at the space station so he can pick up more of these plutonium fuel canisters so he can get a super boost to the comet.
So he's stealing from the government. He's stealing from NASA.
Well, he says it's an abandoned space station.
I don't know, man. This still looks pretty active to me.
See, that's what the Black Arms get you at that point.
Wait, from Shadow?
Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron. As you can see,
from my blood.
As you can see, the day of reckoning will soon be.
So, are we gonna have a team up where the Black Arms team up with that egg race for Jimmy Neutron?
Oh, get out.
Oh shit.
So are we gonna? So is this thing with the Shadow? The Jimmy Shadow Power Hour. Jimmy, I need your help.
What, is that with Sonic X or Sonic Boom?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, we've only been going for like what 15, 20 minutes. That's already 2 chapters down.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this game's short. Like, yeah, if you're persistent enough, you could beat it in an afternoon. I don't think we're gonna beat it all in this session. But we're gonna get through a majority of the game. So if there's like a little bit of a sliver left for the next session, then we'll finish it and then we'll
do cards to get Spanny or Smash or something.
We'll probably do Smash or something like. I don't know. Maybe I can do like time trials for Sonic Heroes since I got the GameCube booked up.
Actually, Patrick, I saw that you uploaded your Alexandra Tempest reaction to the Game Awards nominees.
Yeah.
And I didn't get I skipped through the video because there was only one section in particular
Fighting game.
I wanted your reaction to because oh wow, Bloodstain's gonna win. Bloodstain's gonna be up for best indie. I looked through it. Oh, Bloodstain's not in here. I wonder how Patrick Alexander feel about that.
Indie is the most snubbed category by far this year.
Let me just have a look.
But we got Goose.
Goose is gonna win that category, you know it.
Hell yeah, it is. Just because it's such a fucking meme.
By the way, best family game. Oh, you mean? I guess it should be best Nintendo game because it's all Nintendo.
Yeah, it's all Nintendo. What's it called? Shit. I've been loving the internet's reaction to Jump Force.
Why is that a nomination?
Also, by the way, Jump Force. Here's the thing: Jump Force came out October of last year, so it's well past into 2018 at that point. So why is it come for 2019?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Bandai Namco
I think Bandai paid, like just
I
straight up.
I wouldn't be surprised if they paid. It's like, hey, we need people to start talking about our game again.
Alright, what's the but like, how many new fighting games came out this year?
Quite a few, and especially as everybody has said, Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid should have been on there instead of Jump Force.
Yeah.
I don't understand Jump Force. Like, that doesn't even mean saying that Jump Force is bad. I have no opinion. I have the not only opinion on Jump Force is that I like the graphics, but that's about it. It's just that where you have like Dead or Alive 6, Mortal Kombat, Smash, I forget the other game that was on there.
Samurai Showdown.
Samurai Showdown, Jump Force. Hang on, what?
Like, I think honestly Power for the Grid should have been onto there, because it's a very low budget game, but the guys are definitely putting a lot of effort into it, and it shows. kind of thing. It's actually really damn fun.
Yeah, Chris,
Oh,
Chris, I'm gonna stop you right there. Do not mention Gamer Girl P Nuggets.
I don't even want to know.
We scooped up the yellow material, and he's like, "Oh, Gamer Girl P Nuggets."
Oh, fucking hell.
Speaking of getting snubbed, you guys mentioned how MK Leo wasn't on the list for esports player. Ursula Ash wasn't on that list. That's what I was mad about.
Yeah, again, fighting games count, people. They're esports.
Like, yo, where's Ursula Ash, man?
Yeet.
That, like, that's a story right there. And he wasn't on the list.
Yeah, again, mm.
All right, so yeah, the inventions are usually like your plot movers, I guess. Like they're the ones that get you through the levels and like progress a little bit. The gizmos just let you have fun for the most part.
Fun in what way that fun the way that you can go down pathway that you couldn't go down before just to get something extra.
Wait, are you talking about the gizmos or are you talking about the inventions?
Gizmos.
Gizmos as in you can do some really fun shit. just to kind of like mess around. And
okay.
There are a few gizmos that I used later on in the game to kind of help me out with some of the missions, but for the most part, the gizmos are just kind of those optional things. Like there's a gizmo that replenishes your health. There's a gizmo that lets you run really fast. There's a gizmo that makes your head like 10 times bigger.
that's like Ratchet and Clank nonsense.
Yeah, it kind of is. I wish that the gizmos had a little bit more use, other than the ones that I've mentioned. But for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I still think one of the worst cases of that in Ratchet and Clank is Up Your Arsenal. There's an invention that you use literally one time and then never again, and you gotta go to like 3 planets in order to get the parts for it. I'm like, look at all the guys.
Yeah. Like like we already have 3 gizmos, 1 invention, and 1 super invention, which we're never gonna use the rocket after this. So but like literally the Spectral Warp V4, it's literally just like, look at this, like it's rainbow.
I would say like edit like graphics wise, this game looks pretty good.
It's pretty decent. Like for a third-party GameCube game, I think this game looks great.
I do wish there was a little bit more lighting and stuff like that. And
yeah, this game's very dark. I had to
compare it to something like say,
Actually dies first off.
Like I'm comparing it to something like say Battle for Bikini Bottom or SpongeBob SquarePants movie kind of.
Yeah. Like the colors are decently bright, but I had to turn the brightness up for this game before we started because this game is naturally dark.
And I would say Battle of Bikini Bottom over the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game.
So easy.
Yeah. Remind me the next stream. I'm gonna make a straw poll for the next license game that we do. So it'll be between SpongeBob SquarePants, Lights Camera Pants, Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots, and The Incredibles video game.
No. Lights, camera, pants. What's that? What is that?
It's Mario Party without the board.
Yeah, it's like strictly minigames.
But the minigames are very, very fun. So I think it's decent.
Yeah, but what's the product? Is it like is it Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney? What is that?
It's Nick.
Yeah, just squarely SpongeBob.
Oh, okay. I just never heard of that one. Lights, camera, pants.
Also,
basically the whole premise of that one is there's a new Mermaid and Barnacle Boy movie about to come out, kind of thing, and they put up a listing for the super villain role, and basically everyone in Bikini Bottom is competing against each other trying to get that role, kind of.
Everyone, as in the main 6 characters.
Yeah.
So it's.
Well, I mean, that's everyone.
Yeah. Like it's literally just It's literally just SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, and Plankton that you get to play as.
So what you're saying is that one joke was the secret movie. All right, all supporting characters follow me. Just walk off screen.
But I think it's hilarious though. There's a set of driving minigames that you gotta do in the story mode and stuff like that. And Miss Pearl is Mrs. Pop is the one that judges that. If you win with SpongeBob, it's fucking amazing. Just like the guy that's have his license was the best of all of them, and that terrifies me.
Yeah, I usually go back between playing as SpongeBob and Squidward when I usually play that game. Just it's specifically because of the music minigame that you have to do, where they're like all rocking out, and like I love their solos. Like the music in that game is really really good.
Patrick, you said that the eyes in this game will progress with you. I see that, and that's why I think that Carl is out of these three here. Carl looks the best because he doesn't have the light.
He looks the worst by far.
Yeah, Sheen just looks like he wants to end his fucking life.
Like there are plenty of screenshot opportunities with Sheen.
She looks like I see the future, guys. Where is she? Don't let it happen.
Like, take that screenshot and then just give him like bloody red irises kind of thing.
Alright, so this is where we get the introduction to the different type of Twonkies. There are 3 main types, and then there are like subtypes. Yeah, this transformation thing is actually kind of funny.
Jimmy, I don't think he's very cute and cuddly anymore.
I think out of all the characters, Jimmy's probably the most expressive in this game.
It's almost like he's the main character or something.
Actually, it's actually fact about Jimmy Neutron. When this show got pitched to Nickelodeon, the maker, I don't remember his name top of my head right now. He was just talking like he was like, yeah, TV show. Nickelodeon loved it so much that they gave him a movie right off the bat. And he was like, all right, sweet.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron had a movie before the actual show took off, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of the time back then, I feel like is maybe a little bit safer of a bet.
Yeah.
Honestly, you have to do your movie first and then do the TV show after.
Yeah, but apparently, like, Nickelodeon really liked Jimmy Neutron, like, from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So they already had, like, a lot of faith that the IP would do well, and it did.
Which, fun fact, the voice actress for Jimmy in this game and for the series is the same voice actor that's currently doing Coco from Crash.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did not notice that, dude. When playing for Crash 2, I was like, oh, she's better at it now, but like
playing Twinsanity was probably like the biggest like. Wait,
Twinsanity
and Crash Tag Team Racing are just like that's just straight up Jimmy Neutron. Like
I would say more so in Tag Team Racing.
I didn't play those 2 games.
Yeah, dude, it's like they're not even hiding the fact that it's the same voice actress.
Sometimes I feel that way with Tara Strong.
Yeah. Well, that kind of comes out as a problem when she voices so many damn characters, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There gets to a point. It's the same thing with Matthew Mercer, just like I could so pick him out, you know, kind of thing now.
Yeah.
I've heard him so many times.
Okay, so here's the big, I think this is the last upgrade that Goddard gets, and it's only used in the school.
Wow, only used for 30 minutes, and then Goddard is worthless after that.
Yeah, like there are a few other times that Goddard will show up later in the game, but like he's mostly used for the beginning of the game, just because well we had to get Goddard in here at some point. And like I'm not familiar with the development cycle for this game. I don't know like if it was rushed or if there was like more content planned. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Nickelodeon was like, okay, guys, we just need you to make a game based off of the TV show, and we'll give you money.
Well, one, hi Alexandra. Two, if it's a licensed game, I wouldn't be surprised that they probably only was given a year.
Probably less than a year. Yeah.
Because that's like the norm of back then.
Hmm.
Like half a year to a year to make a licensed game for the movie / TV show.
Oh, JoJo does she also voice Nina in Pasadena in CTR? Really?
Hey, who?
The voice actor for Coco, who is also the voice actor for Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Oh, Debbie Derryberry?
Yeah, Debbie Derryberry.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that. Yeah, that's the name.
What a
I mean,
delicious
I haven't heard their lines in CTR, so yeah, I can't say. You know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you listen really, really close, you could kind of tell. But for the most part, she does a good job at like.
What else has she voiced? I'm trying to see. Do.
Okay, this happened. This happened the exact same time. This happened last time in my last playthrough. Goddard gets stuck between the lockers.
The
So,
early 2000s.
Wait, Debbie Derryberry voiced the aliens in Toy Story? She's responsible
What?
for the claw?
Ooh.
Wait, in the actual film of Toy Story or the game Toy
That's
Story?
the actual film, the first
Wow.
two films. She voiced
Okay.
the
Wow.
aliens.
The
He is responsible for you have
Claw.
saved our lives. We are eternally grateful.
so,
Ooh, watch
Alexandra,
yourself, it's the claw.
you're beautiful.
What did you say?
What's your experience with Jimmy Neutron?
I watched it a lot as a kid. A lot as a kid.
I don't think we ever went into the library during the show. Also, hi,
I'm
Butch.
trying to see what are the roles. Oh right, she was Zatch. I forgot about that.
In what show?
Zatch Bell. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
watched that
okay,
anime.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that spell, but
That's
I
one
don't
of the
remember the
few
plot.
shows on Toonami that I kind of remembered watching a little bit. Well, just because Toonami was usually I had a weird thing as a kid where I just like I preemptively thought I wouldn't like stuff like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that and Naruto, so I just didn't watch it at all. When it
That's
came up.
understandable. Let me see what else.
All right, so
She
we
was-
we got a little
she
mini
wa-
boss against Butch. Just throw books at him.
She voiced Luca in Wonderful 101 as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, we.
Jimmy Neutron, boy, Polly.
Ah, shit, I meant. If you don't,
Yeah.
if you don't hit Butch, he'll pick the book back up and he'll toss it at you.
You're literally hitting the books with him.
Yeah.
Read.
Yeah.
This is the best thing that Jimmy can come up with in this Read. I
Brother
don't
told-
want to read Harry Potter.
It's like, my brother told me that you like to read that. Read. Congratulations. Did you just congratulate me for
Yeah.
reading?
Yeah,
How about
yeah, yeet. Got him.
they read? Have a Song of Ice and Fire. We can't read that in elementary school. It's only in elementary school.
Yeah, so for that little boss, do not go down on the bottom level until Butch is taken care of, because he will wreck your shit big time.
Oh, one of my, you guys were talking about one of like episodes you remember. I don't know if you guys, I had a meeting that ended early, so I just said, screw it, I'm coming home. But I don't know if you guys brought out the episode when they did Macbeth in space. The only thing I remember, I remember
I love that
specifically
episode.
that Bowlby was a hell of an amazing actor, and like everyone just like dropped their mouths, like, huh?
What?
I remember the game show special where they were.
Yeah, Bob Saget was actually the game show. Yeah, they got abducted, and if they lost the game, the planet would get destroyed.
Yeah, look, that was their like Survivor parody episode. I think I was talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the one where Jimmy and Sydney get stuck on an island.
Oh no! I'm talking about they were on this
Space
galactic show, but there were like several parodies of Survivor on that because they had
Hey,
to
there
do
were several parodies of a lot.
because
of
they
game
had to
shows
do
on there.
a tribal council where they vote out somebody. They had to do one of the eating challenges. And
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
no,
that.
at the very last question.
Oh,
was a parody of
yeah,
Who
now
Wants
I
to
remember
Be
that
a-
episode.
I remember the very last question was a parody of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah. Which,
Oh,
by the way,
there was this other episode. Another one I remember was I forgot the grandma's name, but she was actually. It turns out she was a creepy alien as disguised as a grandma and everything. She was like she came to Earth to try to brainwash everybody into happy zombies.
Got it, boy. Got a creepy feeling.
And I just remember two moments from that was when Jimmy unbrainwashed everybody when he was like on there like disguised as her.
I don't know how you find me, boy, but it's always
Be happy if you're feeling glad. If you're sad, be weepy, but don't be happy all the time, cause frankly, that's creepy.
where's the line though?
I know that. No, but when she like comes, she's like, oh no, and it's like when she leaves, when the lady was like leaving, it's like, oh no, this was just a weak gig, and then she calls down a UFO, and she's like, I failed, ladies. It was like, oh, it's okay, we can dominate another world somewhere else, and they're all happy about this, like a bunch of old grandmas, and she turns around, and just is like, we'll be back in this creepy voice.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she pulls up her glasses and there's just darkness in her eyes.
I also remember the episode where they were just a parody of Marvel comics in general.
Oh, yeah.
The Endmen.
The
Endmen, I remember that.
Yeah, wasn't that
because I say Marvel specifically because of the way that they got the powers.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the episode where like everybody got like at first everybody got a superpower except for Jimmy and he just smelled like
oranges. But it turned out Jimmy was like an orange Incredible Hulk.
He was like the Thing and the Hulk like put together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which made the most sense for Jimmy because he's pretty much the Bruce Banner of his series, aside from like,
I like
into
the
Hulk.
fact that Sheen basically like he was a Flash, but he also had an overactive bladder as a side effect.
Carl could do like mega burps. I forget what Cindy could do.
Mega burps. Cindy was basically was super strong, and Libby could turn invisible.
Couldn't she fly too? Like couldn't?
I think that was Cindy.
Yeah, that's what I meant, wasn't it, Cindy? So yeah, the Twonkies are multiplying.
I also freaking like the fact like the way to cure the Twonkies was Sheen, because like the reason why the Twonkies go berserk in the show is because they actually for some reason go berserk from nice singing. And the only person in Retroville who couldn't sing worth a crap was Sheen, so his Twonkie was tame the entire time.
Actually, you know what? That's actually one of the things that they use for this game is they use a CD of Sheen singing to make a something called a Sheenograph that pretty much whenever you point it at the Twonkies, it devolves them. So you're just running around and you're like, it's hilarious.
I also like speak of Jet Fusion. There was another Jet Fusion episode where he was thought that Beautiful Gorgeous reformed and they were gonna get married, and it was just another ploy for her to stop him and take him down and everything. But there was this song in there that just like because Libby was doing the music, and then at the end of it they did like a reprise of it. It's like, oh, and you it's like, and I've learned something else. You all definitely can sing except for Sheen. Ah, man.
Cindy was really into. So when Jimmy showed up to the wedding in the tuxedo.
Yep.
So the game doesn't do a it explains in the instruction manual, of course.
The closed instruction book.
But there are certain like different colored Twonkies that most of them don't show up till like later in the game, but there are certain Twonkies that react to different kinds of sound. So like the regular Twonkies will react to like music. The blue ones will react to like noise, like voices on like a radio and stuff like that. There are blue ones that react to natural sound. So like the light blue ones will they will react to like water flowing. And then there are purple ones that well, I forget what they react to.
They turn purple.
Sort of,
Yeah.
But we were talking a little bit before like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire parody that they did, and I'm remembering of the one clip that's been making its rounds again recently of the guy who was on the $1 million question uses his lifeline to call his dad. And it's just like, hey, I don't need any help. I just want to let you know that I'm about to win $1 million.
I remember that one.
Although
And then he gets the questions right. I'm just like, damn, the big dick energy radiating.
But now we're right on Jimmy Neutron proper is the reason why they got that question right is because of the fact that since they got zapped into this intergalactic game show, their family got like this intergalactic TV programming, so they had like millions of channels. And Jimmy's dad had been watching basically a space parody of it was titled with a parody of Beverly Hills 90210, but he was watching so much of it that he knew everything down to specifics, so that's how they won.
Yeah.
And even though it's like, oh yeah, he's an idiot, but he remembers stuff.
I remember. I don't know why. I always remember the scene of him like walking out. Everyone's ready to walk to the portal, and he's walking out. Oh, everybody, who wants nachos? He trips, and he trips. His nachos like fly through the portal, and he trips like, my nachos! And then the portal breaks.
Yep.
And all the parents are upset.
That was one of the funnier scenes in the game. I really like it. He's just running around, and then you look out the window, and a Twonkies chasing him.
Oh, I think one of the. Do you guys remember the nanobots? Jimmy's nanobots.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
The problem is when you say nanobots, I'm immediately thinking of Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6, yeah, I know.
Microbots, yeah.
Did
I know.
Did I miss a
Pie.
Did I miss a pickup?
Endless pie.
I might have.
Yep, there you go. Endless.
I might have missed a pickup because I got a B on one of them.
Oops.
But oh well. Oh well, I'm not going for 100% in this game.
Okay.
So wait, can you actually not go back to previous levels?
You can't. Yeah, you cannot go back to previous levels whatsoever unless you're doing a brand new game. You cannot go back to previous levels.
That's
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but honestly, you're not really missing much going when you're trying to go back to the other level.
So Jason, since we were discussing this yesterday while you're playing it, did you see the Game Awards nominations?
Yeah, I did. I saw all of them. And so Death Stranding is this year's Makeup Edition 2. Because it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodstained Indivisible are not there on the indies. And I both laughed specifically because you guys really wanted Bloodstained, it wasn't there.
You laughed, dude. The game's good.
I know. No, I only laughed because you guys really wanted it and it wasn't there. So with that aspect, I was like, but it wasn't there. So I was like, all right, now I'm upset. But Goose Game is here, so I can't really be that upset because.
Come on, Goose Game's gonna win Best Indie. You know it.
Then we had the Nintendo category, family game. And I think the one that made me go ooh was music because Kingdom Hearts 3 is on there with DMC5.
Oh yeah, trust. We were talking about how tough. I mean, I personally voted for Cadence of Hyrule. Pat and Tebby voted for Kingdom Hearts 3. But like I said, I can imagine everyone's just like, do I really have to choose?
Yeah, that was the hardest category to vote for by far.
And then Astral Chain and DMC5 for Best Action Game.
Well.
I just went, ooh, that's hard. That's hard because both games are great.
I'm sorry, right now it looks like Jimmy wants to end it all jumping on that bed.
I was happy to see Resident Evil 2 for Game of the Year. Go on.
Jason, what about Best Fighting Game though?
Listen, man, Jump Force.
Which, by the way, I looked it up. Jump Force came out in October of last year, so it shouldn't count.
Yeah, a lot of people brought up the fact, why did that Power Rangers fighting game get nominated?
Exactly! It should!
Hang
on, it's actually pretty damn good.
You're responsible for these things. Mom, you say it's a funny story.
Oh my god, there's a baby Coco and Crash Team. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a baby Crash and there's a baby Coco. Before they put in baby Cortex and baby N Trophy.
That's not the problem here!
Like that
I'm just like, oh,
timeline
God,
wise makes no sense.
Running beyond Mario Kart. Why?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do. I don't know why they didn't do Baby Cortex and Baby Entropy, because those are already like established characters.
Because Baby Crash and Baby Coco are much more marketable, is why.
Yeah, despite the fact that they're not doing jack shit with them.
Next Mario Kart characters, the Baby Koopalings, the Metal Koopalings,
and the Baby Metal
the Baby Metal Koopalings.
I do think, like, overall, as far as like the nominees across all the categories, I do think, I do think that everybody that got nominated actually deserves deserves it, except for Jump Force. No,
yeah, Jump Force is the one outliner that I'm just like, okay, fucking no.
Just no.
To be fair, they've gotten a lot better at choosing the games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Wait, I have nothing against Jump Force, but just Spice is there.
Okay, well, actually, the only categories I don't really agree with are pretty much all the esports stuff and the content creator one. But that's always been a really bad category for the Game Awards.
Yeah. But, also, one thing...
Here's Jimmy's dad just dancing in the garage. And we never see him again. That is the only appearance of Jimmy's dad in this game, except for in the credits.
Goodbye, Mr. Hugh Neutron.
Well, at least I think it is. I'm not. I
also talking about this. That every year they do, they give an industry icon the Lifetime Achievement Award, and we basically all consensus saying they should give it to Reggie.
Yeah, they're gonna give it to Reggie this year.
This year.
Reggie.
Oh yeah, I also speaking of Reggie, I also told them he did a bit of like he did some like lectures, like he was a guest lecturer and did a speech and so like a Q&A over at Cornell University, which is his alma mater. And during the Q&A,
somebody asked him about Mother 3.
Yep. Damn it, I was trying to be coy about it, but yeah, someone asked him about Mother 3.
All right, so.
As we talked about, it would be amazing if after his award he gets, then they announce Mother 3 at that point.
So, like, what if they just update? It's like, what if they made Mother 3 kind of like how Octopath Trapper looks?
Oh, now I want.
Don't do this to me.
That would be cool.
You know, I just had that idea just pop into my mind. It's just like, oh.
God, I just want every Sprite RPG to look like Octopath.
I know, it's just so gorgeous.
Alright, so now we got our main method of capturing the tiny Twonkies. It's literally a vacuum cleaner.
You're Ghostbustering them.
Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron's ripping off Luigi's Mansion. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's not as, like, in-depth as Luigi's Mansion. Like, you don't have to do any tilting of the C-stick or anything. Like, you just gotta hold back on the control stick. Sometimes they'll get...
Ah, so dark mooning it. Got it.
Yeah, you're dark mooning it, essentially.
Dark mooning it.
I don't think I like that description anymore.
Yeah, I don't like that description
is... Yeah.
I love that stiff transition to just Happy Jimmy's mom. That's so funny.
By the way, Alexandra, can I tell you about one Pokemon? Galarian Corsola.
Oh God, climate change the Pokemon. Yes.
Yeah, that made me so upset.
Yeah, because when I first saw it, I was like, "Why are you sad?" And then I saw Pokemon picture. I was like, "Oh."
I was like, I saw it. Just went. I didn't even need to read the Pokemon entry because I immediately got what they were going for. I just went, that's sad.
Yeah, so basically, now we know Game Freak's stance on climate change. They put it in the game, folks.
By the way, at this
is my favorite line of the game right here. I was just working through some self-esteem issues.
Staring into my soul.
It's one of my favorite lines of this game. Just nothing much. I was just working through some self-esteem issues when this Twonkie just suddenly jumped in my window and turned into one of those big meanies. He is currently trashing my room as we speak. So, a little help.
Emote.
Oh, did you bring in the episode when they went to the moon and like the fourth wall breaking cut?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I thought
That is one of the most brilliant, like, stealth, like, we're not gonna tell you jokes I've ever seen.
And then she gets a headache.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they also don't explain how they can breathe in space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Sheen also asked that. No, and then on the way back from the moon, Sheen cuts once it was like she does it again, and she's like, "Oh, Carl, stop singing! I'm trying to listen."
Well, I think they've said a few times before the show, whatever they do go into space or underwater, that they're basically chewing the DuckTales oxygen gum kind of thing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think at the time when that episode came out, they didn't have an explanation, so they're like, "Okay, fuck it, we'll just make a joke
Yeah,
off of
because I
it."
know they do that for video games all the damn time.
You know what? I appreciate that because I was like, well, they acknowledged it as a joke, so I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah, because
I also am
I
reminded.
remember that in like Nicktoons Unite and stuff like that.
I also am reminded of the crap. It was actually the movie when they actually first launched into space. It's like going into the stratosphere, entering mesosphere, entering my ionosphere.
Oh no!
Now I know why they all ended fear. Oh, bless you, Carl. That Twonky looks horrifying.
Yeah, so they're divided into three main categories. There's the tiny little ones that are like the Twonkies. Then there are the rounder ones with legs and arms. The Pac-Man looking ones. Those are the
ones that showed up on the show.
Yeah, those are.
Okay, I'm not
those
gonna
are
lie.
stoppers.
That could make for a good emo, but that's still terrifying. Anyway.
Yeah. So
okay, I know what to think about it. Anytime. Okay, can we talk about Sheen's arm? Because every time he twists, it's like twisted like the hand. They twist his whole arm model, so it looks like Sheen is.
Oh god! Ew!
Oh my god! Oh my god! I never noticed that until now.
Why did you bring that up?
Oh, that model was not rigged properly. Oh no!
Oh, don't worry. There are a couple of instances. A couple of these models were not rigged. The best. Because especially we'll see with Cindy later on, but there's a point where her arm clips through her shirt.
She's fucking face.
Sheen, what's wrong? I'm not gonna just break my arm.
I love Edie's reaction to Sheen's face when you find a shiny after 14 hours of shiny hunting.
Alright, come here. Resting. Alright.
So I'm also pulling up some Jimmy Neutron, just stuff on the side and stuff like that. I'm just trying to remember a bit of the show, and I just pulled up the movie scene where, you know, the no parents scene, where basically everybody goes on a fucking binge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it was just like a comment that was just like, think about all of the newborn children that died during this time.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. No parents. No parents.
We are having a contest where we could eat the most cotton candy.
Andy.
And I won!
You realize, like, as an adult, you look back and I was like, oh wow, actually this is kind of sad and depressing.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to so me and my family, we went to go see that movie. And I remember specifically the car way back, me and my mom were having a conversation about that movie because she looked at it from the perspective as a parent, and I looked at it as a kid. So my first thing my mom asked me was like, Jason, be honest with me. And I was gone for 3 weeks. How many little things would you actually do? All of them.
All right, where's a stomper? I don't want to hit the gromp just yet, but where's a stomper? Let's go have fun with the stomper.
The other comment I love in here is that it's the apocalyptic future where KND actually succeeds in their goal.
Yeah, basically.
Right, here's what happens when you chase a stomper with the Sheenograph. They just run with their hands in the air like they just don't care. And then they devolve. I
like how there are cars going through these Twonkies right now, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. And then the Gromps, they will throw like their shit at you. I guess I don't know what else it is. But when the Gromps devolve, they split into 3 smaller Twonkies. But when the Stompers devolve, they just go into 1.
JoJo, my favorite Galarian form is actually a tie between Mr. Mime because of what he evolved into, and 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 Rapidash.
Is the Ponytail line I love the most. But if you want it for jokes, my favorite one is Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. I mean Wheezing.
Dum dum digadome, ding dum 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 ding dum digadome, ding dum ding dum digadome. My favorite fucking shitpost ever.
Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome? That's right. That's showing Crash Dimmadome on Rice? Yep. That's right. You give me tickets, right? Wrong. Huh?
I do think
Although that's actually realistic because they give a realistic answer. He's like, I own the place. I don't put the shows out there. That's up to them. That's actually a very realistic answer. Oh yes, okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Galarian Darmanitan, that was the best thing.
Have you seen the Zen form yet?
Yes, that's what. Just like, oh, this is officially the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, there was a lot of more love to Gen 5 Pokemon of all things, which was actually kind of pleasing. But yeah, so Pat, we officially have a fire ice type.
Hell has frozen over.
Hell has frozen over.
So am I.
Both figuratively and literally.
Literally.
But
Alright, 9 more of these little bastards.
I do think that Jimmy Neutron, out of all the Disney, the Nickelodeon, out of all the, I do think that Jimmy Neutron, out of all the Nickelodeons, I think is one of the ones that actually lends itself to a game pretty well. Just because you can very easily take the concept of Boy Genius and just actually turn that into like a pretty neat platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more collectathon stuff in this game than there is platform. Like, there's platforming every once in a while, but for the most part, it's a collectathon.
Now that I think about it, other than Battle for Bikini Bottom, are there any good Nickelodeon licensed games?
Nicktoons Attack of the Toy Bots, I thought was pretty decent.
Mainly, I remember a lot of the PC ones actually not being too bad. I don't know about a lot of the console ones actually.
Yeah, the console ones are a little bit more hit and miss, but the PC ones were usually the best ones.
Like, I remember Nicktoons Unite, and probably terrible actually playing it back now.
I'm pretty sure that one was made after the Toy Bots, because they reuse a lot of assets from it.
No, that Nicktoons Unite was the first one of those.
Was it?
The crossover game.
Was it?
And, yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different one then, because I know there was...
I have to note that model of Cindy was her, like, how she looked in the movie, not how she looked in the show.
Yeah, it's weird, because, like, Cindy is the only character in this game that has her movie model. Everybody else has their cartoon designs.
And the Twinkies one was pretty, like, in the midway of the show?
Yeah. And that was by the point that Libby got
Twinkies,
Twinkies. Call them Twinkies now.
No, because Cindy's model got changed in the first for the first episode. Cindy's model was different, so that model is only from the movie.
Yeah.
And if this is the same studio that made like the other Jimmy Neutron movie tie-in game, that's probably the only model that they had.
Well, no, that was not the same studio, because I know this for a fact. That studio went under when they did SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. I know that studio.
Oh god, I heard that game was terrible.
Because
I rented it. Ew.
Yeah, it's bad. Basically, the thing was they got that one because they worked on the Jimmy Neutron game, and they basically were using the same engine for SpongeBob kind of thing. So. Basically, they got it because they had an engine working and they had about a Bikini Bottom area to play. So, like, while everybody else had pitch documents and stuff like that, we had a full playable demo. That's pretty much the thing. But that game was really bad, especially the PS2 version could wipe your memory card.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Also, the only other house that we get to go into, other than Jimmy and Sheen's, is Cindy's house. Because we have to get we don't go into Carl's at all.
Interesting.
We go into Jimmy's, we go into Sheen's, we go into fucking Cindy's house. Okay, that's all the Twonkies. So now we just...
Oh yeah, I also like to note something that was unusual for cartoons is the fact with Jimmy Neutron concerning a lot of parents usually didn't have names. At least I mean back in like
Yeah.
even up into early 2000s. Jimmy Neutron was one of the few shows who not only had whose parents had a lot of screen time, but his parents had full names too.
Yeah, because the parents were in the show far more often.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
even
no,
then,
I
but like
mean-
I said, even then they were given names, and that's not even something even Fairly Odd Parents did. Even though they did make fun of it, but early Fairly Odd Parents, and that
Yeah.
was brilliant. It's
you
like,
can
oh,
call-
like,
you
my
can
name
call me
is
Bob.
Furu, but everyone just calls me Dad.
Well, as a kid, a lot of the time we just called them Blake's dad or Blake's mom, kind of thing. That was just your name.
I just glad they kind of just lampshaded. It's like, fuck it, we'll make a joke out of it.
Alright, so we just made,
And it's like, and since you came in a God,
like-
that episode is so quotable.
so, we
Since you came
just...
in last place, you get an all expenses paid trip to dictator school.
We just made our second super invention. This one we actually get to use. Remember earlier when I said super inventions are usually made right before the boss fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's boss time. we're gonna go to the boss. I hate this boss.
How many bosses are in this game altogether?
Well, I don't count the first one that you fight on Twonkies 3, just because you don't do any damage to him. You just get to your ship. There are 4 bosses. And, yeah, so pretty much a boss every 2 areas or so.
Okay.
With the exception of one of the later ones. Where's the invention I'm looking for?
Oh my gosh.
This one. Ultra hit. Yeah!
Everyone quotes the "if I had." It's like I would have had Blake if I had one. It's like, and here's where I would have Blake if I had one, sort of thing.
All right.
What?
That's the
Sure.
hairstyle.
Like it's raining for your little girl's party.
But I think one of my favorite quotes from that episode, Fairly Odd Parents, was it's like, in the future there will be 500 channels far out, but
But
nothing
nothing
to
to
watch.
watch.
Alright, that's all
Which,
33.
unfortunately, it's very realistic. It's a little too realistic if you think about it.
Alright, so if I'm gonna die to any boss in this game, it's probably gonna be from this one and the final boss. Just because I do not like the mechanics for this boss fight, because it takes unless you do a very specific strategy, it takes forever. So yeah, this is the big boy. So think of it as Thor fused with a Twonkie. He just stays up in his cloud. So I'm gonna switch to the super invention real quick. The strategy I like to use is lay one of these down, wait for him to strike lightning.
As weird as it is,
And
considering
then-
how expressive Jimmy is during the cutscenes, I'll give them credit on that much.
Wow, that grew lots of
Yeah, like the animations in this separate are pretty decent.
It's mainly on model construction I have more of kind of the issue with.
Alright, so we'll wait
And
for
their
him.
heads where they're talking on these like text boxes
Yeah.
just jittering. What the heck?
Yeah, they don't really put in that much effort for it. So the main thing is that he'll strike lightning down, and it will affect all the metal objects in the area. But the easiest way that I use to damage
oh fuck!
him,
He's a thunderstorm Breath of the Wild.
yeah, the easiest way that I like to do is I like to go one of the seesaws, lay one down, let it damage him, and then I throw one up there to like do a little bit more damage on him.
that took some
Um,
power.
So I'm gonna lay one down, and it didn't get caught. Cool. But this, thanks to the tornadoes, you get pot-shotted a lot in this fight,
I can see that.
and almost after
Wait,
almost every lightning
question,
strike, you will...
is there a live system in this game?
No, there are no lives. It's pretty much
Okay.
it's
Are
pretty much
there
like how...
checkpoints? Are there checkpoints and bosses, or do you have to do it all in one shot?
I think you have to do it all in one shot because there are no phases.
Okay.
Oddly enough, looking at this boss, I'm reminded of Crash Bandicoot.
I can see it.
Reminded of what?
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, just
You know,
like in general.
for whatever reason, I'm thinking of Pikmin with this kind of arena. For whatever reason.
Okay, I'm actually getting him on a really, really good pattern right now.
Almost drawn all his power.
Just gonna save 3 frames right here.
Ah, shit. Shut up.
I'm kind of wondering if this game has been run at a GDQ.
I don't think it's been run at a GDQ, but I guarantee you this game's been sped run.
Oh, hang on. Now I'm curious.
Yeah,
At
it's
the
like,
time.
speedrun! Speedrun! Okay.
Speedrun.com, bitches!
World record, any percent speedrun is 1 hour and 56 minutes.
Whew.
Because it is a licensed game, I really want to see how much they can break this game. Because like I want to know about the glitches. In
There we go.
game. Like,
Alright, I'm pretty sure that's gonna
how many
be
sections
it. Come on. Got him. That is the fastest I've ever done this boss.
I am just reading through this list on the homepage, and it's like some of the most recent speedruns. Somebody got 3rd place for a New Game Plus in Danganronpa for all Clash Trials, 57 minutes.
Why would you speedrun Danganronpa?
I don't
Oh,
know.
you
Like I
speedrun
say,
Danganronpa.
no, you only speedrun the trials themselves or something.
Okay. That's just a memorization thing more than anything.
Well, you also gotta work fast and make sure you fire fast too. Don't try to misfire on like non-stop evasive shit.
ED.
Also, you gotta realize.
Fucking ED. It's just Jimmy's running animation. He says, he says that running animation is me when going to get my $5 burrito.
Also, Pat. Remember, Hangman's Gambit is RNG on what letters pop up at any given time too.
Imagine being famous for having the world record for Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies.
I mean, to be fair, you mean being famous for having the world record for a bad game in general?
Yeah. Well, this game isn't bad, but it's not the best either. Like
I say this, and Dan
good.
did have the world
good.
record for a bad game for a while. He hasn't stopped speedrunning it because apparently the other guy who does speedrun the game is kind of a jerk.
Huh.
Well, I know Dan speedrunning that Forbidden Memories.
Yep, that's the thing. It's so bad that people made mods of it for speedrunning purposes because speedrunning in vanilla is terrible.
Oh, this was not supposed to happen.
So much
I
grinding.
want to look into speedrunning at some point. I think it might be a fun thing to do. If I ever do it, it will either be like a Team Sonic and Sonic Heroes or Shantae and the Pirate's Curse would probably be what I would speedrun.
Oh, if I were to ever speedrun, it'd be Generations, because you can break that game in half with.
Oh yeah, they have run that at GDQ, and that's where I found out that you can pretty much, you go so fast, especially in classic Sonic stages. The level, in order to keep the game like running at a steady clip, they usually just load and unload sections of the level, because if you're far enough away from like certain checkpoints, there's no point in having that loaded anymore. But if you go too fast, you make it to a checkpoint before the level loads. Oops.
The easiest way you can do that is in Seaside Hill Classic with
using the bubble shield without athleticism, because that just ruins your momentum.
I remember doing that once just because I saw it. I was like, how could I do it? Found out how to do it. Did I just went? So this is what it feels like to be a strong. Go away.
Oh god, she's staring into my soul again. Also, what the fuck? How did that work?
We don't talk about it.
Welcome to the candy bar. Whoopee cushion or not whoopee cushion?
Should have played Club Penguin.
You know the speedrun for Club Penguin Eddie presents trying to get it.
Rest in peace, sweet prince.
The speedrun for Club Penguin 80% was to get banned as fast as possible.
By the way, Alexandra, go about the Pokemon real quick. I remember you said that the champion fight in Sword and Shield was hard.
It was hard to me.
Like Cynthia's levels are hard.
You're the person who said Cynthia's a joke, so I'm not taking a word from you.
No. Wait. He killed four of my Pokemon. He did. He was almost the end of my blind Nuzlocke run. I got only Leon.
No, Leon could be a Nuzlocke killer. Oh God!
So like he killed 4 of my Pokemon. Oh no!
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we don't do Nuzlocke on your first playthrough, because shit like that can happen.
Because like the first Pokemon he sent out, picture of, oh, this is gonna be that kind of fight, isn't it? He saw Aegislash, I was like, oh, okay. You're gonna be that kind of person, huh?
See, I still find it hilarious that Cynthia's team is actually like a legit competitive team.
Oh no, Pat, get this. Freaking you want to deal with a competitive team? The 8th gym leader has a good. They basically force you. Hey, hope you like VGC and double battles and weather teams because that's what you're gonna have to deal with in the 8th gym.
Welcome
I'm not
to Gen
kidding.
5, motherfucker.
He killed 2 of my. He killed 2 of my Pokemon, and there were 2 I cared about a lot.
I love these little interactions that the Twonkies have with each other because like one of them picked up a smaller one and threw it at the other one.
Pat, you want to know a terrifying thing about what happened with me in the championship battle, which is kind of funny.
What?
So it wasn't even Charizard that was the problem Pokemon, even though we came pretty close to becoming a problem too. One of his other Pokemon, it was Dragon type. I like to dub it Garchomp 2.0.
Is it the Dragon Steel type?
It's the Dragon Ghost type.
Oh, I have that now.
Yeah. By the way, said Dragon Ghost type is faster than Garchomp.
Yeah. See,
perspective, folks.
Alexandra, that last gym, the last gym leader made me fortunate that I caught a fairy type. Like,
it was yeah. It's all fine and dandy until you get G-Max Duraludin, and you're just like, oh shit.
But see, like, Alexandra, the thing that killed this Charizard killed 4 of my Pokemon. But here's the situation. I was like, okay, I know his last Pokemon is Charizard because like it's his 8th Pokemon.
Advertising, yes.
Yeah. So like, all right, I have. There's only one Pokemon of my team that can take it. Because it has a water type move. Because I lost my Gyarados. Rest in peace, Nemo. All right,
You called your Gyarados Nemo?
Yes. Because he's gonna think about. I'm gonna think about. All right, it all comes down to who's faster. The Charizard's faster, and it has a super. And the movie uses a super effect. So I just went, oh no! I had to survive. I had to survive a Gigamax Charizard 2 turns.
See, I'm just reminded of what happened at Improv earlier this week based on that name.
Wait, what?
That he named his Charizard Nemo. No, his Gyarados.
Oh god!
Yeah, I did my Gyarados Nemo, and it was awesome.
The thing is, when we played dating game for Improv, kind of thing, one of the things people got, I think it was, I forget what one of the other people was. I have a smoking problem and I'm trying to deny it. Like I'm going cold turkey.
No, you were trying to go cold turkey and you just couldn't do it.
And then the other person was Marlon from Finding Nemo. It was fucking amazing.
It was so good.
Can I also bring up the fact that in the text blur box with Libby looks high. She looks extremely high right now.
Yeah, the characters that don't really have like prominent text boxes just kind of happen. Libby just looks high in general.
They also made a whole episode just to give them an excuse to change their hair.
Oh, by the way, guys, the Wooloo Massacre is finally over. Jay Witz found one.
Yay!
Yay.
Actually, on Reddit, there was someone on Reddit who went through the entire game and beat it with just Wooloo.
I mean, hey, Wooloo's got some good defense on it.
Don't wear capes.
Whenever I get back to replaying through the game, I might actually do a monotype fairy run and see how that goes.
Alright, so I need to hurry up and get up here before the Stompers turn into Gromps, because Gromps do quite a hefty bit of damage.
I have yet to start any of like the post-game story. I know where to go to start it. I just haven't done it yet.
Shit.
It's because hey, I'm not doing Nuzlocke anymore. I can finally go around and catch everything that I wanted to catch. So I've been on nothing but 63.
I also found Toby Fox's music, and it wasn't exactly the place I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Still good stuff though.
I heard this song sometimes. I was like, did I play Pokemon or Undertale? I don't know. You tell me.
Oh yeah, so the story time about that song apparently, it seems like Toby Fox likes to repurpose a lot of his old music.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot already.
That one apparently was something concerning Homestuck. So like I like how everyone's pointing to like, oh ew, it's Undertale. I was like, actually no, it's not.
If the Twonkies fall off the building up there, it's fine. You'll be able to come back down here and get them. I need to find.
What did they glitch and disappear?
No, they just hop off the building.
Oh, I think one of my apparently there's a Pokedex entry for Magikarp. I don't know if it's in Sword or Shield, saying it's literally the most useless thing around, which is very depressing, but true.
Pink and Mori, I have actually had no experience with the Game Boy version. How is that version of the game? Because I know this game came out at least for GameCube and Game Boy. I don't know about PS2 or Xbox.
Might have been DS, possibly.
Oh shit!
Actually, speaking about that,
Maybe.
I actually couldn't remember, so I had to look it up. If Danny Phantom actually got any games, like of his own games.
Danny Phantom, I think, got 3, possibly, and I think they were like old GBA.
Yeah.
Now, there was one I found on the there was one game that was released for the GBA and the DS that I found.
I just think they're all bad.
That one was based on the episode where Danny learns learns about his ice powers.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Wait, Danny has ice powers?
Season 3.
Yeah. Also know that's the season where Danny Phantom goes downhill. Which is weird, because I don't actually remember a lot of seasons.
Oh, here's the part where Cindy's arm glitches through her sleeve.
Alright, I gotta see this.
I think. Yeah!
Alright, I gotta see this.
Look like right around the shoulder area.
It's flipping, but...
Like, you can kind of see it around, like, where her shoulder is. Like, her...
I can see clipping there, but...
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. I thought... Well, it was more Sheen's, like, entire skin, like, was rotated, like, 180 degrees kind of thing.
Okay, so, before we go to save Cindy, there is one more... There he is. Come here, you little bastard.
I'm loving comment sections on this Jimmy Neutron stuff I'm looking up, because they're like, there's this video now of just seeing like first and last for the series kind of thing, and then first invention is like the smart pants thing, because they're not getting anything for the movies, but the comment is just like first invention of smart pants, Goddard, am I a joke to you?
Alright, so this little section, we're just flying around with the jetpack. And the Twonky is constantly throwing flower pots at you. So you gotta be careful. I think he throws them like either 2 or 3 at a time.
I remember another funny line from the episode where Sheen asked Jimmy to enhance his intelligence, but then got out of control and Sheen went mad with power and everything.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Episode was really funny. It was just like, oh, so you want to do something? It's like, oh, nah, I got this part-time job and I really need the money. And it comes to a university. My name's Professor Sheen, and I will be learning you today.
You're hired.
The game,
okay, yeah, this Twonky's an asshole.
The Game Boy version is also a short. The Game Boy version is also a short game, and it's more of a platformer. I also remember it has hover boots.
It has hover boots.
Wait, we're talking about a Jimmy Neutron game here, right? Because
We're talking about the Game Boy version of.
Because I went on
Twonkies.
mute when my mom called because I was just like, we were on the subject of a Danny Phantom game, and I was just like,
Yeah,
wait.
Gotta catch. He's gonna catch a ball because he's Danny Phantom.
He's an asshole.
Big fans.
No, I love the one of he's a fan.
He's a fan.
How did they fit you onto the Spectre speeder? You ever been inside your ridiculous thermos? Kind of ass like the Taj Mahal.
I think like the darkest moment of Danny Phantom was the
Anything related to the ultimate enemy is the darkest thing.
Yeah, but the one that comes to mind it was how Danny became evil.
Oh yeah. Family gets blown up, he gets depressed, rips out his own humanity, because rips out Vlad's humanity and ghost form combines with the two, and then kills his human self! For children!
Okay, so this might actually be a good time to stop for the session. So we're gonna finish off this section.
I thought you said we were gonna get this down to one session.
That was the original plan, but I have a matter to attend to tonight. So we have a reading that we're gonna go.
Oh wait, what was it? Yeah, what's it? The thingy you were talking to me about earlier, Pat?
Yep.
I'm with that.
So Friday we will be finishing this up. And if we finish too early, then we'll play some Smash.
You guys probably need to trade for Crimson Clash, right?
Yeah.
Putting that off always, it's approaching.
By the way, Alexandra, which starter did you pick in Pokemon?
Score Bunny.
Do you think that you'd be able to breed me one so I can have all the starters?
I need to get a Ditto. I have been looking for a freaking raid Ditto for the longest time.
Oh,
so,
I can tell you where it spawns.
Well, spawn means nothing if the weather's not right.
No, it spawns in all of the weather conditions.
Okay.
It spawns over at Lake of Outrage.
Okay, thank you. Oh God, Cindy's eyes. Why does everyone have beady eyes except Jimmy?
Because he's the main character. This is also the only appearance that we get for Carl's dad.
Also, does he have beady eyes? Because I know Carl and his family have beady eyes to begin with.
But they lock the gates and I can't get in. Can you figure out a way in and find him for me?
Okay,
Theirs are normal because they're always beady. Fuck!
These gates are no match for my superior inventions.
I'm sorry, Pengu. Yes, the last gadget in the Game Boy version is a jetpack, and there was a Shrink Ray in the game.
yeah, there was a Shrink Ray in this one too. It was in the school.
You have just unlocked a bonus.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so this is our first bonus that we've unlocked. Pretty much, there are some like events or inventions that you get where you'll get them and then you'll lose them, and then once you finish the episode, you'll get a bonus, pretty much a mini game. So I'll be showing that off next session too, because it's a three-way jetpack race between Carl Sheen and Jimmy. But you don't really get anything for it though.
So what you're saying is it's a poo break?
It's not a poo break because we're doing it at the end of the game after the final boss.
So it's a poo ender.
Yeah. So yeah. So a little preview for the next episode that we'll be doing next time, Park Pandemonium. It is quite hilarious.
They've taken over the park. Stop running! Don't you see that the music is just making them angrier? I'd better go and help him.
Okay. Alright, folks. So, that's going to be it for this session. Like like I was saying earlier, if we didn't have this thing to attend to today, we probably would have been able to finish it probably by 7, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But actually, no, this one in the next section is actually one of the longer ones in the game, so that might take a while. But yeah, for now we're gonna have to cut it short, unfortunately. But this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will do the final session for Jimmy Neutron, and then I'm hoping Monday, even though I'm only gonna be streaming one day next week because Thanksgiving. I'm hoping that we can do Thanksgiving's next week.
Huh, that stuck up.
Yeah, it did sneak up. But we'll be finishing up Jimmy on Friday. Monday we will be starting the blind playthrough for Danganronpa 1. And then the Sunday when I come back, since improv's gonna be stopping, I might stream that night. I don't know. It depends on what Pat wants to do.
We'll see.
Yeah, cause like it'll be one of those things where I'll be off for pretty much a week, and then we'll have 2 weeks to stream, and then be off for the rest of December and like part of January. But we'll get all that worked out when it comes. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and let's find someone to raid. I at least have time to raid somebody today.
Hashtag Twonkies.
There's a wait, hang on. Let me check to see if Dan's in the bracket. If so, because there is a Smash stream weekly going on right now. I've got to check if he's in the bracket this week though. Because if not, I'm not gonna watch it.
Hashtag for a raid message. Hashtag Twonkies.
Hashtag what?
Twonkies.
I was gonna say hashtag Sheen's Abyss, but
Wait, permission required? Why is it permission required to just see the what? Oh, that's settings. Why did they go to settings? I just want to go to brackets, you morons. It's so weird. Okay.
Yeah. So if
I didn't see this. Ugh.
Yeah. So if he's
Actually, he's weird. Hang on.
Yeah. If he's not in the bracket, then I already got a stream subject. I don't know if they're gonna read out the raid because it's a tournament. So.
Why can't I see the bracket singles? That's what I got. Come on. Why does it keep showing permission required? Let me see the fucking bracket.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you can only see the bracket if you're.
Yes, he is
the actual
in.
Tournament. He is in.
Actually, he's playing. Wait, he's playing right now. Why is he using Incineroar? I thought he was using Incineroar. Anyway, rate him. Rate these. Hang on. Let me get you the link. Link is in the Twitch general and the general on the Twitch. God damn it, Sheen! Pat, I hate you for that.
Okay, there we are. Okay, yeah. So raid message is going to be hashtag Sheen's Abyss. How do you spell Abyss?
ABYSS.
Okay, cool. I spelled it right then.
Actually, you spelled it wrong. I can see into the mental image that is your mind. There is an E in there. How dare you?
Shut up. Alright. So, yeah, there we are. Sheen's Abyss. Let me get this page pulled up real quick. It's on SSB. Alright, let's go ahead and let's ready up the raid.
Oh, they're just doing friendlies right now, I guess.
Okay.
Oh well.
LG Ultra Gear. Innovation beyond boundaries.
Ah. Oh, hi, ID.
If there we go. All right, 3, 2, 1. See you guys later.
See, Dan's now just fucking.
Sodium chloride.
That's what I said. So do Glory.
Oh, I don't even think they have the stream notifications on.
Oh, they do. It says Tabby Bear is rating with the party of 3 in chat.
Yeah, but it's I don't know if it's gonna show up on the. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna show up on the thing.
Oh, there's no. They're just fucking around.